Hi everyone, welcome to our further food for thought. This is a video with no frills, I'm afraid, because Giles is on holiday, but hopefully it will do the basic trick as we just reflect on what I was talking about on Sunday when we started our series that we're calling Crossroads. This is a new series we're doing as we approach Easter, considering the cross and particularly looking through different individuals' eyes at what Jesus did on the cross and what he accomplished for them. And so on Sunday, I talked about Barabbas and how, in many ways, there are a whole number of parallels between Barabbas and us. And I mentioned three in particular. I said Barabbas was guilty under the law and deserved to die. And the same is true for us. I said that for Barabbas, Jesus was a true substitute. He died on the cross instead of him. And he took the punishment that Barabbas was due to take. And of course, the same is true for us. And I said that Barabbas then had to choose to walk free and had to choose what to do with his freedom. And in essence, the question was, would Jesus' death in his place cause him to take a different road for the rest of his life? And of course, the same is true for us. Jesus has paid the price. It's a question of what we're going to do with our freedom. And as we consider this, I want to suggest that you do a few things potentially in your life groups. The first is that you just take a little bit of time to share amongst yourselves how you came to understand the freedom that Jesus made available to you. In other words, when the gospel came alive for you, when you understood that when what Jesus had done when he died on the cross was enough for you to be forgiven and for you to walk free. In a sense, it's your testimony. And so a chance just in our life groups to be able to share our testimonies. And this is when it all made sense. This is when the lights went on, when I understood I could walk free, that I didn't have to face the punishment that I deserved. So to hear one another's stories would be great. The second thing is to just take some time to talk about what does it look like to live in the fullness of that freedom today. So it was one thing for Barabbas to walk out of the cell. It was another thing, we don't know. I talked about how we don't know what he ultimately did with that freedom. And I want to ask you the question and to talk about, what do you think it looks like to make the most of that blood-bought freedom that Jesus has made available to you? What does it look like to live your lives for the one who gave his life for you, the one who died for you? Just to talk about in your life group, some things that you think that does look like and some things it doesn't look like. So some people live just, and say, yeah, it's nice to have known his forgiveness, but there's more than that. How do we embrace that and how do we live that out? And then I want to encourage you to think about breaking bread together, that as we consider the incredible price that Jesus paid so that we could go free, so that we could be forgiven, so that we don't have to face the punishment that we deserve, to just in your groups take some time to celebrate what he's done, to give thanks, and as you do that, to remember him afresh. And I guess as you've talked about what it means to step into that freedom and live in the fullness of what he's made available for us, then it's a great opportunity to, as it were, enter into that covenant with him afresh, that just as he gave his life for you, so you give your life back to him as you take the bread and as you drink the drink and remember the incredible sacrifice that he's given. This is a time for us to celebrate what he's done. The cross is at the very, very center of our faith. And over these weeks, we're going to be looking at it in all sorts of different ways. We want it to inspire us and propel us to live lives that are utterly given over to him. In a sense, the cross brings us to a crossroads. It says, are you going to keep living for yourself, or are you going to make a turn? Are you going to repent and turn around and live for the one who died for you? May we have the grace to do that, to see all that he's done and to live in the freedom that he's bought for us. God bless.